Now to our Breaking the Deal Police series. We put the spotlight on the National Liberation Congress, formed by a former member of the NDC communications team, Stephen Atubiga, back in 2021. Now, in 2022, the party received a provisional certificate of registration from the EC, partially fulfilling the Political Parties Act. Stephen has an ambitious goal of breaking the deal police and has formed an alliance with the Ghana Alternative Party. Well, he joins me in the studio to unpack key policies in his party, and he will tell us how he plans to implement them if given the nod to steer the affairs of the country as president. Now, the first time I heard of Stephen was way back 2012-2013 during the presidential debate petition, and you were quite vocal during that time. Yes. You spent some days behind bars as a result. Really. Tell us more about your party and why do you think we should give you the nod?
Thank you very much. The NLC, National Liberation Congress Party, is a party that we broke away from the NDC to form a replica of the NDC due to the NDC derailing, tilting towards being capitalist instead of a socialist. And a lot of disagreement in terms of NDC is a socialist party for the poor, by the poor. But if you look at the filing fee, 500,000 filing fee and decision, it doesn't represent the social, it doesn't represent the nobodies, the poor, you know. So there's no future for a young man in the party. And then the amount of the 500,000 filing fee, the 6 million, 4 million registered voters of the NDC today can afford such an amount. Can afford such an amount. So we had to form a replica of the NDC to give the youth hope, the disgruntled ones, the poor people like us that we've been with the party for so long that due to the depthness of your pocket that you could participate to lead the party and getting the opportunity to lead this country. So our filing fee will be so cheaper that at least your 3 months to a 1 year salary should be able to help you participate in the internal election of the party, the way leading this country. Money shouldn't be all. It should be, once you have the wisdom, you have the knowledge, you have the charisma, you have what it takes to lead this country, I think you should be able to lead a socialist party, you know, unlike the depthness of your
Let's get into your policies. What's your plan for the education sector?
Yes. In this country, we have between 35 to 40 million Ghanaians. You have less than 1 million people on government's payroll. Let's assume that 10 million out of it are children. Let's assume that 20 million are adults at the private sector. So in that case, this country, Ghana, to move this country forward, you have to run this country like a business entity. When I mean business entity, you should be able to pull the people along beyond. So the first foundation of this country, Singapore has a population less than 10 million. They have 365 banks as of 2016. So this country, we have to establish more banks. Every sector of the economy, all the ministry, government sectors all should have banks that are backing it. And how do we do that? Immediately we take over power. We're going to create from smaller banks to, from bigger banks to the smaller banks. And all the ministries will have banks attached to it. Okay? Then every sector of the economy will have banks. That is the foundation. Then we'll go ahead and cut all budgets to ministry. No more any budget to any ministry in this country except the health sector, the education, and the security. Then every minister, our minister, you have to run all sectors of the ministry as a business entity. There's a commercial section as all the ministry. So that is how we create jobs. So like the private, there will be a bank for communication, banks for the media, banks for the traders, banks for, how do you call it?
But in education, what exactly?
In education, we will make sure that there will be a system that you'll be ready for the market. We don't see the reason why you're going to read dondology in this our country. What are you coming out to do? You are going to be in the unemployment sector if government doesn't make, so we'll package you that you learn something that you are ready for the market, okay? Besides that, all the private, the technical schools of this country will be in partnership with our government. We'll provide them with the bitumen machines, the graders, the bulldozers. Practically, all the roads that is in this country that we've seen them like macaroni. You know, you've seen there's a lot of roads being constructed. How do we maintain them? Our technical schools will come out, the students they don't even know how to flip shovels. So practically, they will be maintaining government vehicles as their practical works. They will be maintaining government buildings as their practical works, okay? And then there will be a bank that will be financing all sector. Once you come out and you can say, this is my land. I want to establish a workshop. I'll be employing this much of people. There's already funding for you.
What will the tax regime look like under your government?
Okay, under our government, imagine you have 20 million. We'll be able to make sure that there's financial availability to support all sectors. Government will raise more revenue.
How?
How do we raise it? For example, look at all the shopping centers that we have here. You go to the restaurant to eat with your family. Once you go and eat there, sometimes you could pay, depends on how much you spend. How is government be able to make sure that the taxes that we pay the VATs and what have you, and national health insurance, we pay COVID. How does government recoup? What is the system being put in place to be able to make sure that government gets what is due them? So we will make sure there will be, there's a mechanism that there's a device given to all shops. You cluster them. So they will give them the special receipt that roll that paper. Anytime automatically government's own share goes to a special place. There is good, how it will create employment. We can cluster like 20, 50 shops that somebody is in charge of that through the internal. So that will be able to close the loopholes. At the same time, we will make sure that you don't buy a car for $1,000 in the States or somewhere. You come and be paying $10,000 for. We'll make sure that that will be taken care of. As a matter of fact, it's going to be there wouldn't be the need somebody smuggling a car from a neighboring country coming here.
Okay.
Okay. Imagine this country, the rail sector. You may be able to get a loan because we have a bank for the rails. You create a railway from here, let's say, to Sawam. Somebody else will continue. Then he may even come and take the money, buy the coaches, which is called the trains, and put on. Government will be making its taxes. So all sectors, even at the ministries, will make sure that if you're
I'm quite interested in illegal mining and the fight against it. What's your policy plan to deal with illegal mining?
Okay. One thing I want us to put in mind in this country, no government can stop illegal mining unless we put structures in place. Because certain areas, people have to mine because that is the natural resources that they have. That is what their family has to do. So we must make room to be able to accommodate the mining. Why do we make them illegal? They are illegal because structures are not being put in place to accommodate them. So we can take 50,000 acres of land, okay, then distribute it to people. Once they are mining, the government will be making its taxes, and there will be a certain amount that will be charged to reclaim the land back. So once we rotate 50,000 acres of land, once the lands are being reclaimed very well, what can it be planted? Cocoa, what have you, they'll move to another area. So by the time they eat up 200 acres or whatever, I'm just giving an example, you come back, the land might have cocoa, maybe beans, maybe plantain, maybe something, cassava, then it will be recycled again. In that case, people have no business going to do illegal mining. And how do we also stop it? We must work with the illegal mining. Soldiers and wherever you take them to, they cannot control it. If we make you legal and give you the land, you will police and make sure that nobody goes to the water bodies, because we'll hold you people accountable. The assemblyman, the chief, they will be held accountable of making sure that it means they are allowing people. So government has to work side by side with the citizens of this country.
Thank you.